And we're back, family. So remember, we are to dust our feet off. We are to keep our shalom if one is not worthy to hear this life-changing news. Like, this is salvation we're talking about. This is understanding who the living Elohim is. So if they're not worthy and they do not want to hear this, retain your shalom. We're not to get upset if somebody does not want to hear the good news. So we're back to 1 Corinthians 8, beginning at verse 3. But if any man love Elohim, the same is known of him. So Paulus has instructed us to use love to edify. And the Most High, and he's also saying in verse 3, but if any man love Elohim, the same is known of him. So by loving Elohim, by loving the Most High, by loving our head Yahushua, we are known of him. But again, how do we show them that we love them? It's not just say, oh, I love the Most High. I'm so appreciative of the things he's done for me. I've offered up thanksgiving to him in the way that we're supposed to, scripturally, right? But there's one key. Yehoshua said in John 14 and 15, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. He also said in Matthew 22 what those commandments are. Let's actually go to that. Let's go to that. I wasn't planning on it, but let's read that. Matthew 22. Oh, look at that. Another beautiful illustration for the book. Look at that. Look at that, family. Look at that. It's so beautiful. Ethiopia. So Matthew 22. And we're going to begin at verse 36. Where is it at? My apologies, family. 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the Torah? Yehoshua said unto him, thou shalt love Yahuwah, thy Elohim, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. This is the first and great commandment. So in order to love Yahuwah with all our heart, all our might, and all our soul, we should not be engaging in feast days that are of this world. We should be engaging in his feast days. Okay? To love him with all your heart, all your might, and all your soul, or is to do the things that he asks of us to do. In Leviticus 23, there is absolutely no Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, none of that. So we want to show Yahuwah that we love him. And how do we show him we love him? By keeping his commandments. Okay? Verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So didn't we just talk about that? So as a person, we don't want to have somebody being belligerent to us and berating us and browbeating us because of what we don't know. No, we want to be taught about this information. So we should in turn give that to our brothers and sisters. We should show our brothers and sisters that same love and respect. Is how we want to be spoken to is most certainly how we should speak to them. And this is a commandment of Yehoshua, our Adonai. Okay, so this coincides with what Paulus is saying about how love and a charity edifieth. It's not the knowledge. It's not knowledge. It's love, because love is a work of the Spirit. Go to Galatians 5. You know, for the sake of time, guys, we don't have the most amount of time because I'm only given 15 minutes. But go to Galatians 5. Love is a work of the Spirit. So Paulus is saying, be in the Spirit, because part of the Spirit is having shalom. And the Messiah instructed us in Matthew 10 that if they're not worthy or they don't want to hear what you're trying to teach them, hold your shalom, which is what? Keeping you in the Spirit. Okay? And now this is one of the more critical lines that people forget and don't want to acknowledge. Verse 40. In these two commandments hang all the Torah and the prophets. So by loving Yehovah with all your heart and all your might and all your soul, by loving your neighbor as thyself, Yehoshua is saying this hangs all the law and the prophet. So if you're doing these things, then you're doing the law. And you're not breaking the sins that are outlined in the law. Because why would you? You're in the Spirit. Why would you not celebrate the Feast of Dedications if you're in the Spirit? Why would you celebrate something that has nothing to do with the Most High Yah? If I command my wife, or you command your wife to do something, and they repeatedly just don't do it, do you think, are you going to feel loved and respected by that person, by your wife? No, you won't. You're going to feel disrespected. And that's the exact same feeling the Most High Yah has and Yahushua has, probably times 10 or 1,000 or 1,000,000. Whatever their wrath comes with is far greater than anything that we as humans can comprehend. So let's love him with all our heart, all our might, and all our soul by keeping his commandments and following his feast days. Okay? Let's look at it. So we're going to go back to 1 Corinthians 8. Because we want to be known of Yahuwah, we must love him. And what does loving him mean? It means keeping the commandments. So the next part of what Paulus is about to talk about is actually concerning the foods, right? So let's look at it, verse 4. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is no other Elohim but one. Okay, these are foods. These foods and these feasts are offered up to a God they believe in. It's not the Most High Yah, therefore it's an idol. And to be honest with you, they are their own idol. They are, for instance, with Thanksgiving, so grateful for what, quote unquote, God did for them, and they're so blessed. But really, these are feast days that celebrate themselves and celebrate what they've done, when we know we do nothing without Yahuwah. We do nothing without Yahushua. But many of these pagan feast days are just glorifications of themselves in America. There's a really cool interaction between Abram and Terah, his father, in the book of Jashir that involves this very topic, Terah's Babylonian gods and idols, versus Abram and the Most High Yah. It's a fascinating read. I highly encourage you to look it up, go through, take some time to read it. It's a really cool story. And it'll help kind of personify what this means, and how idols are nothing. They're literally nothing. They have no power. We've seen this time and time again in the scripture, where prophets and believers of the Most High Yah have went up against Baal, the false gods, the idols, and they lose out every single time. They lose out every time. Okay? But to get the Most High's words, let's go to it. Amos. Let's get to Amos. Amos talks about this very thing. And let's see what he says. Let's see what's said in Amos about these foods offered to idols. Let's see what the Most High says. The Most High Yah says. Give me 1 second, family. There it is. Amos 5 in verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the Shalom offerings of your fat beast. So here we have the Most High Yah and Amos saying he despises these feast days. He despises these holidays. He despises what they represent. He wants to smell none of their foods. He wants nothing to do with them. He's making it very clear here at Amos. He just hates them and he despises them. And those are very strong and powerful words. To hate something and to despise it means there's nothing in it that they find pleasing. And remember, we just got done pleasing the Most High by being immersed and cleansing ourselves of our sin and becoming spiritually renewed in the mind and turning away from our sin and going and sinning no more. So let's go back to 1 Corinthians 8 and let's close it out. 1 Corinthians 8, where did we leave off? Verse 5. For though there be that are called Elohim, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be Elohim many and lords many. So what that means is we know that the heathen have a history of practicing polytheistic worship, which is the worship of many gods. Oftentimes, it is my belief that they are confusing gods with fallen angels, those that have heavenly powers, but not the almighty heavenly power, which resides with Yahuwah, and that can only be given out with righteousness, because even Yehoshua only receives his power through Yahuwah, and that's because he's righteous and does his Father's will. Okay, so we know that the heathen, whether it's the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians, so many of these goyim nations, these heathen nations, have participated in polytheistic worship and worship of things that are not the Most High. Verse 6. But to us there is but one Elohim, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Adonai, Yehoshua, HaMashiach, by whom are all things, and we by him. Let's read it again. Hallelujah. But to us there is but one Elohim, the Father. So here's Paul saying there is only one all-powerful, and that's the Father, of whom are all things, and whom are all things, and we in him. So he is the Almighty, he is everything emanates from him. And one Adonai Yehoshua HaMashiach, by whom are all things, and we by him. So it's saying Yehoshua is the way that we exert power over these powers and principalities. We use Yehoshua's name to remove unclean spirits. We use his name in prayer, because everything's done through the mighty power of Yehoshua HaMashiach that was given to him by his Father, because of course Yahuwah is all powerful. He is the creator of heaven and earth. So family, just to summarize, let's close it out, because we have the living Elohim on our side, and we do not want to bring him to wrath. Okay, so it's very important first and foremost that we do not participate in any of these feast days. That doesn't even mean going over and just sitting there, because when the Most High Yah sees it, he's just going to see you there, and he's going to know that your heart was lonely for your family. And these things, it may sound cold, but they don't matter to him. We are not here to celebrate any other day or any feast days other than those that are ordained by the Most High Yah. You simply got to tell your family respectably, you know what, I have my beliefs, and I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. This is the time of year when I have to tell so many people, oh, how was your holiday? How was this? I don't celebrate it. And usually you just get, oh. Like, because we're some kind of weirdos, right? Like, we're just some kind of weirdos. So it's important, family, just to be strong. That's it. These are not days that we celebrate. Are they beating down the doors to come celebrate Passover or the Feast of Dedications and learn more about what we believe in? No. By and large, our families don't care what we believe in. They think we think outside the box. They think we're weird. They think we're going to hell. They think we're heathens. They think we don't know what we're talking about. So there's no need for us to compromise our beliefs and faith in the Most High and showing him any other thing than the love, respect, and reverence that he deserves by not participating in these feast days. They are wicked, they are of the devil, and they are not of the Most High Yah. I challenge you to read in Leviticus 23. Are there any Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter? There aren't. We are here to be followers of Yahuwah. We are here to set an example because we are representatives of our Adonai Yehoshua HaMashiach. We receive our power, we receive our grace, and we receive our mercy from him and through him. Let's honor our Father. Let's honor our head by refraining from these feast days. Family, if you have any other questions about this topic or anything else, please email me at goyimradio.com. That's GOYIMRADIO @gmail.com, and I will do my best to get back to you. Until next time, family, I want to bid you a Shabbat Shalom, and I hope and I pray that you have a blessed week. Shalom.